Yeah, I gave you a little short video. We lifted the roof off that log structure. We're going to look at one of the logs shifted during that lift. That was a little bit too scary for comfort, so we lifted up just one side and got that log back into position. As I said, we will probably bring in something better for the final assembly. Yeah, the road to the house has been plenty muddy lately, but it's getting better. I'm a little behind on the videos because of the microphone issues I've been having. And the plan is to assemble the structure upside down and then rework the lower part of it that's rotten and things have started to shift, and we did reuse some of that reclaimed wood, the rotten parts or the bad parts that we don't see any use for really from the log structure we tore down last summer. And since the ground here is kind of sloping away, we had to have quite high supports at one end, and then it was simply starting to pick it apart piece by piece and rebuilding it upside down. My dad had done a big job putting in struts at each of the corners to have the correct angles, and we realized it's quite crooked, this building, and I think it was built that way when you look at the joints at the corners, but this was never meant to be a sealed structure in any way. It's an outhouse and a storage, nothing more, and that's probably what it's gonna be in the future also. So the first layer of the building, we had to spend some time getting the struts back into place and getting the angles of all the corners correct, and then kept picking at it piece by piece. No real big issues. All the sideways parts here we had to twist around because of building it upside down. The long, well, these are the short pieces. They are 7.2 meters long, and the long ones that you can see here. Here we're lifting a long one. I think that's 8.9 meters. So the structure is not that small, and there are few really long ones because there are several openings both for access, and they had barrels under that outhouse sections in the old days. Here we have one that's actually full length, the full 8.9 meters. So and all the POC line excavator it's not super easy to operate on the turning. It's quite jerky. The rest of the functions are quite good. Some of the smaller pieces we laid on the three-wheeler and transported that way because it was more of a manual labor. It would have been taken too long or to start hooking them up and lifting them over when they are manageable by hand. And it's like a big Lego. Also found that one of the hydraulic cylinders is starting to leak a little bit too much, so we'll need to look at that in the future. Anyone ever repacked a POC line hydraulic cylinder? Please comment and let me know if it's something I should look out for. I've not found any possibility to buy well, I found some place from India that sells a kit for repacking them, but I think it should be just standard seals, and you could buy it at some place that sells seals, but you need to take it apart and bring the old ones with you to get that sorted out. Yeah, we focused on the south end that has most pieces that will be reused. The north end has kind of sunk down into the ground, but even the south end, the lowest part, has given up, so the wall had started to lean outwards and was a little crooked, so we put in some ratchet straps to kind of force that wall in and be straighter as we assembled it upside down. Because the lowest, well, it will be in the future, but we'll do a frame as a guide from the lowest set of logs. But I plan to document the entire project. A few pieces that were part of the interior in the outhouse section we just store under the roof for now. It will be all reused as we reassemble it. And then we started looking at the north part, where we will have to remanufacture quite a lot of pieces. And once we got to the point where we needed to remanufacture pieces because they are too rotten, I think this might be the last reusable piece that we move here. Last long reusable piece. Oh, here the cart, we had dug out an old cart. That's nice that it's extendable, and as we lifted one of the south pieces that we will have to remanufacture, and we used the wheelbarrow to move that first long north part that will be remanufactured. And we got stuck in the mud trying to bring that cart back up to the sawmill. We ended up hooking up both three-wheelers and pulling it. That made it possible to make it up through the mud. And we made it to the sawmill, where we will start looking at a little bit of production in the... Well, we have started already, but I'm a little behind on the videos, as I said. We pulled out a piece, one of those pieces we're gonna reuse, a reclaimed good part from what we tore down last summer, so some of it will live on. More videos will come. Hope everyone have a good time and avoid getting any coronavirus or so on.